I'm Mark Halpern. Welcome to this week's focus group. We're going to talk a little bit about the events of Wednesday in Washington, D.C. with 4 Biden supporters, 4 Trump supporters. Folks, I want to go around and I'd like you to tell me in just a phrase, just a couple words, tell me how you feel about what happened on Wednesday in the Capitol. Bruce, tell me how you feel about what happened.
I felt sad and angry.
Sad and angry. Okay. Madison, 1 or 2 words. How'd you feel about what happened?
I'm upset and I feel like nobody's listening.
Okay. Sarah, 1 or 2 words. How'd you feel about what happened?
Nauseous and disgusted.
Okay. Kelly?
They're very upset.
Okay.
I know that people want to be listened to.
Okay. Julie, how'd you feel about what happened?
Sad and, those that did that were unheard. They weren't being listened to.
Okay. Paul?
Disappointed, but unsurprised.
Okay. Silas?
Disgusted and disappointed.
Okay. Oliver?
Disgusted, and I'd agree with Paul, unsurprised.
Okay. Madison, tell me, if you were to place the blame for what happened with someone, who would you put first on the list? Who do you most blame for what happened on Wednesday?
The media, 100%.
Okay. Paul, who would you blame?
I really want to agree with Madison, but I think ultimately it has to go with Trump because he's been fanning the flames.
Okay. Julie? Most to blame?
The police that were there. I mean, they knew this rally was going on. I mean, they had an opportunity to put some things in place to prevent it.
Okay. Kelly?
Those who sounded the charge, which that was the Antifa.
Okay. Bruce?
Probably the media. I think they've stoked tension over the past 4 years. It was a slow-moving car wreck.
Okay. Sarah?
I think the media and the president are equally to blame.
Okay. Oliver?
I think in the heat of the moment, I would blame the president.
Silas?
I would blame those who broke into the Capitol and destroyed our chance of being heard.
Let me ask you all to talk about this. There's a lot of discussion about what the president did and didn't do. Some of you said the president was most responsible. Julie, how would you rate how the president did on Wednesday in terms of acting as president, performing the job the way he's supposed to?
I think that he was, trying to make the case of, what was wrong with this election, and it just got out of hand.
Kelly, do you think the president did a good job on Wednesday?
I think he did as best he could at the time. Real disappointing.
All right. Sarah, how do you think the president did on Wednesday?
I think it was terrible because he didn't do anything until Joe Biden came out and made a statement and said the president has to do something about this. And then the president doesn't even make live remarks. It's just a recorded thing that he posts up on YouTube. I mean, what was he doing? Isn't there something? Isn't this the most important thing going on right now? It should have been a live thing from the Oval Office.
Madison, regardless of how you think the president did overall, what do you think that the biggest mistake he made on Wednesday was?
I guess to not make a live statement, but I feel like he did the best he could with the situation he was presented because he was in contact with people, with a lot of the congressmen, and he did call in the National Guard.
Silas, what was the biggest mistake you think the president made on Wednesday?
Not talking directly to his supporters and taking charge of the situation.
What would you like to have seen him do to take charge of it?
Get out there and tell them to knock it off and go home. This is not the way we act.
You don't think that's what he did in his video?
He did do that.
He did do that, but he did it kind of late in the game, I felt.
Bruce, what harm was done to the country by what happened on Wednesday?
I think the harm results in less respect for our institution of government, less confidence that our leaders will discharge their responsibilities in a faithful way to the Constitution.
I want to go around and ask you all for one word to describe, just 1 or 2 words to describe the following folks. 1 or 2 words of how they did on Wednesday. Okay, 1 or 2 words. Start with the president. 1 or 2 words. Silas, how did the president do on Wednesday?
I thought he did great. He behaved fine. I didn't see anything wrong with the way he behaved on.
Okay, Paul, 1 or 2 words. How would you characterize how the president did on Wednesday?
I think 1 or 2 words would be inaction. He could have gotten out in front of it a lot sooner.
Okay, Oliver, 1 or 2 words. How'd the president do?
Embarrassing. He needed to take action right away. He sat back and waited hours as the
Okay. Kelly, 1 or 2 words. How'd the president do?
I thought he did what he could.
Okay. Julie?
I think that he did the best he could with the information that he had.
Okay, best he could. Sarah?
Weak and uncertain.
Okay. Madison?
I think he did the best he could.
Okay. And Bruce?
I think he did horribly. I think he should have recognized the kinds of remarks that he delivered in rallies around the country, so close to the Capitol, after angering the crowd, to have that kind of impact.
Okay. And then finally, in terms of Congress, and obviously Congress covers a lot of ground, 535 folks, Nancy Pelosi and Ted Cruz and all the others. But overall, tell me how you feel about Congress in the wake of what happened on Wednesday and Thursday. How do you feel about Congress? Silas, 1 or 2 words.
Disappointed. Very
Disappointed. Bruce?
Rose to the occasion.
Rose to the occasion. Madison?
Irrelevant.
Okay. Sarah?
They fulfilled their constitutional duty.
Okay. Kelly?
Very uncertain.
Okay. Oliver?
Encouraged. I think that in the final moments, many congressmen and senators finally did what they were supposed to do.
Okay. Julie?
Disgusted.
Okay. And Paul?
Yeah, I agree with Oliver. I was heartened by the fact that a lot of Republicans, after the insurrection, decided not to pursue their protestations.
Okay. I want to thank you all very much, and thank you for watching. We'll see you again right here on Wide World of News.